Salam.
There's some issues that we haven't really addressed while we've sat here, and the brother touched upon it slightly. And it's the most important thing of this is that we have to understand this is not the method of the Sunnah. Stunning is a nicer way of calling it. I say electrocution. You know what happens when an animal is electrocuted? If a human is electrocuted, in an animal, we know there'll be something which is called salt and pepper hemorrhaging. There's dangerous toxins that are released into the body as well. This impacts, when you consume it, this will affect you. A lot of diseases, etc., etc. And I go back that the Prophet ﷺ and all the messengers, peace be upon them all, the method that they employed was hand zabiha. So why, when we practice making in Ramadan, when we fast, we do it according to the Sunnah. Everything we try to keep to Sunnah. But when it comes to the issue of halal and haram, I believe stunning is haram. Because of the impact that it has, there's no chance it can be halal for the body. And in Tabrani, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that when a Muslim, he consumes haram, a morsel of haram food enters his body, 40 days ibadah is lost. 90% of what is consumed or slaughtered in the UK is stunned. So the chances are that if people and Muslims are not concerned of what they're eating, and they're saying, we just go off the word halal, which is probably one of the most abused words right now. We are consuming haram. 40 days ibadah. Imagine in Ramadan, you eat a samosa. That is haram, for instance. What will happen to your ibadah? It's lost. And if somebody consumes haram every 10 days, unknowingly, or out of non-concern, just imagine all his life, his ibadah. So this is a pressing issue, a very, very, very serious issue relating to our ibadah. For anybody who is a practicing Muslim, for him is very, very serious. And the other issue here is the fact that if we don't speak up now and defend halal, then what is saying tomorrow that we won't have a ban on niqab? There's petitions on niqab, there's petitions on salah, on a growth of masajids, and where is this going to end? So this may be at the testing ground. Muslims need to wake up now. Otherwise,
and as Brother Amin said earlier, that Hitler, when he started to attack Jewish community or Jewish faith, you can say, the first thing he targeted was their kosher meat. If you want to demoralize or attack any community, you will attack on their food first, because they can't live without that. So Muslims by nature cannot live without meat. We are not vegetarian, we need meat. And they know that if there is ban on halal slaughtering, then Muslims will be forced to compromise. And when they compromise, then obviously their salah will not be accepted. If salah is not accepted, then their dua will not be accepted. If dua is not accepted, then anybody can do zulm on them or whatever. And that's it.
The help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be coming towards us. The final point I want to point out is the reason why stunning was introduced. When I ask the non-Muslims why was it introduced, they say it was introduced on the basis of it being humane. I say, and I ask them whenever I have the opportunity, please provide me evidence of this. Scientific evidence, medical evidence. I'm still asking, 6 years on, nobody is able to provide this evidence. It's like the evolution theory. That theory has gone on for hundreds of years. We have this theory of stunning being inhumane, but we have proof, the Muslims and the Jews, we have proof that this is very humane. So we just need to do some research, educate the people that this method, firstly, was introduced to increase the kill. And secondly, it was introduced to get a faster kill, not on the basis of it being humane. And this is something that we need to understand. And by us consuming the stunned, we're ineffectively, when we're not bothered, we are effectively saying the sunnah, we don't have to focus on this right now. It says halal, it will do. In fact, what you should be asking for, and what Brother Muhammad Salim said before, was we should focus on, when you go to the butcher's shop, you say, is this non-stun? Is this non-stun? Not is this halal? Because under the law in the UK, they say, well, not under the law, I should say, people assume non-stun and stunning are both halal. I disagree. Non-stun is the method of the Prophet ﷺ and all the messengers. The other method is a method that's not ordained or ordered by Quran and Sunnah. So which method will you eat? All I can say is to my brothers and sisters is that please educate yourself. This show that is being conducted, there's a very important points that have been stressed, and that is we should understand what is halal and what isn't halal, and consume halal, and we have to learn to protect it as well. If we fail to speak up today, tomorrow it can affect many other aspects of our deen. So all I'll say is I encourage everybody to sign the e-petition, create awareness, WhatsApp, email, text your brothers, your sisters, your circle, and get onto it. We are more than 100,000 people in the UK. If we can't achieve this by a few clicks on our phones, on our computers, then what are we expecting then?